Hello everyone and welcome to the SFL. My name is Gauss and this is game 2 between Icefox and BrokenBladez. TVZ action, which in my personal opinion is the most fun matchup to watch. And it's the most fun matchup to play, even though I'm a big Protoss player. I've been playing a lot of Terran recently and really love the TVZ. Up here in the upper position of Overgrowth LE, an oldie but a goodie. It's Icefox. Alright, let's get our pew-pews in here. Pew, 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 pew. Fantastic. That's never going to get annoying, is it? Okay, and down in the bottom position we have BrokenBladez. Yes, BrokenBladez, although those BrokenBladez do seem to be quite effective, as he was able to defeat Icefox in the last match. So we're just going to have to see what happens here. BrokenBladez went hatch first last time, worked out very well for him. Icefox says, I don't play enough to know the differences. I missed the first part of the conversation. Or to feel EM at least. Me either, really. Well, they must have been talking about the last game and I missed it. So we're just going to see what happens. Does he go pool first? Does he go hatch first? I would guess, based on my experience of casting players that are below Masters League, that they're going to do more or less the same thing again. I think players tend to have one build they're the most comfortable with. And especially if you've just lost the previous game, it seems like, well, maybe I want to do something different, you would think, to try and, throw my opponent off. But reality is, you probably think to yourself, that was my best build. Change maps, and, try it again, and maybe I can do it a little bit better. Put your best foot forward on every game. Because if you don't play all the time, if you're not Masters, Grandmasters, you're not playing all those games, you're not going to be as proficient with every style and every build. You're not going to be as good with your mech as you are with your bio. I mean, that's the case even for pro players who play all the time. So, I tend to see a lot of repeated builds on second games, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes they do switch it up. We do have Hatchery coming in here, but he did go pool first, so it is a little bit of a switch up. Although it's not really that much of a big deal to switch pool first and hatch first. It's, a minor difference. It really depends on what you want your timing to be and everything like that. I mean, if you really got something timed really specifically, like the old Stefano Roach build and stuff, then it really matters. But you can get by with whatever. Going pool first is a little safer. You get that queen out in time to deflect the Reaper. If you want to do any kind of Zergling harass, you can do that. So there are benefits to going pool first. It just depends on what you feel comfortable with. It's a two-player map, but it is a large two-player map. So we do have the hatchery. I mean, you don't want to do anything one base, right? You don't want to do one place roaches or something like that. And here comes the Reaper. Unfortunately, the Queen is not going to be out in time. Now, he wasn't able to get any drone kills from the Reaper last time, and it looks like he will not be able to this time either. There's more than enough Zerglings to deflect this, and I wasn't sure if he had gotten one, but it looks like he didn't. So this is pretty much the same build from Icefox. Here comes the second Reaper. The only difference is the last time the first Reaper died right away. So this time there will be a second. He may get out of here. He's probably not going to get any drones, but he will, he's going to live. Assuming he doesn't get, too cocky, he should be able to make it. So, we'll see. This one probably is going to die for sure. The Queen's out now, so whatever window he had to try and play any games with two Reapers and, bring one over here and one over there to lead the Zerglings away. That's all over now. Creep spread, didn't really talk about it last game. BrokenBladez, decent creep spread. He is moving his Overlords out here. This is very important. Of course, it depends on, what your opponent is doing. If they're going for air early on, you may want to, bring them back in. You don't want to lose too many Overlords and get supply blocked, but having a network of Overlords out on the map gives you great coverage before you really have the creep spread out, and, it's a personal preference, but it seems to me that the better players tend to go for a large spread. They put a lot of Overlords out on the map and just make extras and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to lose one here, I'm going to lose one there. Just the cost of doing business. That's the price I pay for map coverage. And this should be a CC here. No, it is a starport, so no, never mind. The CC is over here. Not a huge departure from last time, but it is a departure because last time he built two factories and reactor factories and built a bunch of Hellions and then he was basically forced to build a bunch of mines after that. I say forced to because if you have 2 reactor factories, what are your choices? You can reactor Hellions, which were going to be completely shut down by the roaches, or he could reactor Widow Mines. Or he could move them and add, tech labs and try and do some kind of weird mech switch, but yeah, that's not really going to be the best thing. He had a couple of good drops, but he was really short on army, and at the end of the day, BrokenBladez just was able to accumulate slowly over time a big enough army to go and take him out. So, there's nothing wrong with a Hellion Harass. He is going to try and do a Hellion Harass here again. He does pick off a couple of Zerglings who were on their way. I'm not sure how wise that was, as he probably would have been able to defend it by the time they got up here anyway, if he were making, Marines. But now, BrokenBladez knows these Hellions are on the way, and they are fast, but they're not that fast. Excuse me, getting a drink here. And, Icefox does discover the third, going down from BrokenBladez. He's not going to be able to kill it. It'll take forever for 2 Hellions to kill an expansion. But the Queens are going to come here and run these guys out. This is something we see played out over and over and over again in TVZ. Hellions go harass the third, and the Queen scares them away. It's really about scouting, checking to see if that third's there, how far along is it, how saturated is it. Try and get yourself a little bit of information to say, hey, how far along is my opponent in his strategy, and what is his strategy for that matter. Here's a creep spread. It's looking pretty good. It's only 9 minutes, and this is a pretty good creep spread. So kudos for that. We do have double Evo Chamber coming down here in front of the natural, so we do have 1-1 on the way. Of course, he had much better upgrades in the last game. He had 2-2 versus nothing from Icefox. Third is going down from Icefox up here, so it is later than his opponents, but that's okay. You can be a base behind if you're not Zerg, and still be okay. It looks like BrokenBladez is going for roaches again, and that Glial Reconstitution has just finished. So that's a nice little upgrade, and 1-1 is getting ready to finish for him as well. I don't know if he's going to try and do a timing with this. We do see them moving out across the map here. And 1-1 is almost finished from, not 1-1, it was covered by the overlay. +1 and STEM is nearly finished from Icefox. The question is, does he have enough? He does have 2 bunkers in production. These roaches up here did force him to cancel the third. With the tank here, this should be probably more than enough to repel these roaches. If they moved out right now, they might be able to snipe these supply depots or something, but probably not, especially with a couple of Marauders. He throws that into a bunker. It's going to be very, very good against these roaches with that tank there. So he is going to be able to defend his natural, at least for now. Supply is going vastly in favor of BrokenBladez yet again. 115 to 73. We have medevacs and tanks and Marauders on the way. He is doing +1 armor now. So we have +1 weapons to +1-1 for BrokenBladez, but that will get evened out at some point. And now we have muscular augments coming in here, which is a speed upgrade, as well as Zerg missile attack level 2 and ground attack level 1. So even though we have more roaches here, do we have a spire somewhere? No, we have a Hydralisk den. I guess it's for the Hydralisks, never mind. And so yeah, he's just going to do the same thing he did last game. Why not? Worked for you in game 1, it'll probably work for you in game 2. He's just building up the army right now. We're at 153 to 98. At some point there'll be another big surge in army supply from BrokenBladez, and he'll probably make another run for the natural. Of course, these Zerglings are coming in here to scout. They get shooed away by the roaches. BrokenBladez is going to have a harder time breaking this than he did last time when he showed up in game 1. There was very little there to defend. We've got 1, 2, 3 siege tanks here. Pretty good coverage. Right here we have like triple coverage right here where these bunkers are. And we have a 4th one coming in, so that's going to be pretty difficult for him to break. We'll just have to see what he does. Now, if he has an overseer there, then the Hydras can probably snipe this tank. And, yeah, I don't know. Moving the siege tank out here, I think, is a little risky. He's going to get a few shots in advance when the attack comes, but that tank is going to be more vulnerable than if he had moved it back. So more Marauders coming in here. He definitely knows from last game, and probably from scouting this game, excuse me, this is going to be Roach Hydra. He is going to try and rebuild his third here. He's bringing the SCVs over, and he is sending out a small hit squad here. I don't really know what they're going to be able to do, though. They do pass this army here, which is going to be looking for a fourth expansion in this corner. They're not going to find it. Of course, BrokenBladez knows this army is here because they're on creep, so he has vision of it. I don't know if he's going to send out someone to kill him or not. We do have an attack going down here. There must have been a drop that I missed. You'll have to excuse me. If there were other drops, I might have missed another drop. I don't know. But this Roach Hydra army does come in here to deny the third yet again. It did finish, but it is going to die, so he wasn't able to cancel it or anything. Tanks move out here along with some Marines and Marauders, but it's 2-2 to 1-1, so the upgrades aren't as bad off as they were last game, but there's not enough tanks here. He needs to get down here and repair these bunkers, but there's just way too much DPS coming out of these Hydras. There's no way he can survive this. He's probably not going to get through this attack, right? He is going to lose this Roach Hydra army, but he has broken the wall. And he does have a lot of income in his favor. Unlike last game where Icefox was able to kill a lot of drones and keep the income down, it's not the case this time. That army is going to be rebuilt very, very quickly, and there's really not going to be anything to be done about it, quite frankly. It's really going to be a game of attrition. Icefox is not going to be able to rebuild this defense as quickly as BrokenBladez can rebuild his army, so we're going to see another push, probably on the natural at some point. He may wait for 3-3. He may wait for 200-200. I don't know. He's expanding right now, which is probably not a bad idea. He did deny his opponent a third, so taking a fourth is a just reward. A lot of spine crawlers coming down here, which is not a bad idea. In case there's a drop down here, you know, they're not spore crawlers. They won't stop the actual medevac, but you know, it'll help delay any killing of the drones by getting to work on those dropped units. We do have a third attempt at the third, so I guess when he builds the fourth, he's going to have to build it 4 times. I don't know. You shouldn't. It's a lot of wasted money and time, quite frankly. And so we have +3 and +3 coming in here, so you know, we're going to be on 3-3 here at some point, and you know, I don't see 2-2 coming in from Icefox, so we're still going to have a 2-2 disparity at some point. It'll just be 3-3 to 1-1 instead of 2-2 to nothing. This game is going longer here. We have some Overseers, probably worried about Widow Mines. There were a lot of Widow Mines last game. If we check our unit tab, there are no Widow Mines this game. He's completely abandoned that strategy altogether. Excuse me. Icefox does seem to be partial to these little hit squads. He's bringing in some units here to take out some creep tumors with some scans. Not a terrible idea. We do have a couple of drop ships over here. I'm not sure where they're headed. They're probably going to come down here and try and do a drop on the main. If they can get some key tech structures or maybe even the hive, yeah, then that would probably be a good thing. I doubt it, though. There is a queen here, and there's a bunch of spore crawlers. He might be able to drop up here, but there is a viper. We'll just have to see what he can do with this drop. So, meanwhile, there's a few units being cleaned up over here, but let's get to the meat. There is a tank in this group, which is going to be quite good for this drop, but on creep, the army is going to be able to get back here pretty quickly. They are pretty far away, but I don't think he's going to be able to snipe this hive. It just has way too many hit points for that. And I apologize if my air conditioner is being loud in the back. I mean, sorry, the heating, the radiator is being quite loud in the background. Roaches coming in here, way too many for this tank, though. The tank is definitely going to go down, so he didn't even get it into the red, not even close. He was able to kill some drones there. He was able to kill 28 drones, but at this point, you know, you're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, right? There was an attack here. Sorry that we missed the brunt of it. It did get repelled quite easily. There is an absolutely huge number of tanks here, so this natural is very well fortified. I'm actually quite impressed that Icefox has managed to fight his way back into this game, killing those drones, taking the third, and finally being able to keep it, and taking the fourth over here. All very, very good moves for him. He may be able to stabilize. We'll have to see. I thought we saw the writing on the wall already, but he is managing to come back. Those tanks are going to help him. We're going to see if there's any kind of tech switch from BrokenBladez to help him. He is building Vipers, so he should be able to abduct some of those tanks. That's going to help him out quite a bit. Yeah, the main is mined out down here, which hurts him a lot more, because even though the natural is almost mined out here, we do have 3 mining bases for BrokenBladez versus just 2 from Icefox, and the natural is almost mined out as well. There's a little drop here, but it was easily repelled by all those spine crawlers, so nothing able to really do here. Icefox is creeping forward. He's leapfrogging his tanks here. Creep spread is quite fantastic from BrokenBladez. I mean, he's had 20 minutes to work on it, but look at this. This is very impressive. Look how far up this goes. Look at that. This is it. Look at, you can see creep right here, and then tank. So, yeah. Let's just look at the vision for BrokenBladez. Look at that. Look at the mini-map. Look at his vision. That's outstanding. We have another hit squad coming in here. Probably going to try and clear creep tumors. He is going to get a free queen here. Excuse me. The army is moving up to deal with this, though. They do stem for some reason. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're going to die, so they may as well try and take 1 extra unit down with that little bit of extra damage. So let's just follow these guys here. We do have a Viper, Roach, Hydra army coming in here. The question is, where are they going? Are they going to go look for the 4th? Are they going to go into the 3rd? They're clearly not going to the natural. Even if they had attempted the natural, they would have turned around. It's way too fortified. At times like this, you'd almost like to see a Nidus into the main, you know? People don't really do that, but oh, you want to put all those tanks there? Fine. I'll Nidus into your main, you know? Tanks do have time to siege here, so they are going to be able to get quite a few hits off, but there is a lot of DPS here. The Viper's not really abducting. Instead, they're using their Blinding Cloud ability, which is just as good. Of course, it's also a good ability. It limits the range of the siege tanks, so they can't do their damage as well. Roach Hydra, very, very strong. He's on 3-3. Hydras have excellent damage. He takes out the 3rd. He does miss the 4th. He probably would have come in here and taken this out had he known that it was there. It is a planetary, but it's not going to survive. I think this is GG. You know, we do have a couple of more siege tanks coming in here from Icefox, and some of his units from BrokenBladez are low on health. They don't have medevacs to repair themselves, of course. It'd be nice to see some abducts here, but he is just opting to kill